WWDB Philadelphia, the talk station.
And growing.
The preacher, and they were having this constant argument about who was blind with how many women in the church. So that the deacon said to the preacher, said, I bet I had more women than you did. And the preacher said, no, I bet you haven't. So they were back by the door. And as the people came in the church, the deacon said, I did. And the preacher said, me too. And it kept on going on and going on and going on and going on. And they were just about even. So then all of a sudden the deacon said to himself, well, I got him now. Here comes my wife and my two daughters. The deacon said, I did. Preacher said, me too, me too, me too.
Oh, dear. Hold on. All right. Okay. You have a joke for me.
Yes, I'm a little nervous. I'm not good at telling you.
Well, do the best you can, my dear.
A new young preacher was preaching this Sunday morning, and two deaf old ladies in the back of the church were sitting there, and one said real loud, he's the son of a bishop. And the other one said, they all are.
Okay. Hold on. It's a twist on an oldie. All right. You're next.
Okay, the same deacon and preacher were talking, as the gentleman previously said. And he's talking, he says, I can't understand. He said, somebody from the congregation stole my bicycle. He said, nobody would steal in this congregation. He said, somebody stole my doggone bicycle. He said, look, come Sunday, when you get up to preach, if you preach the 10 Commandments, when you get to the part that says, thou shalt not steal, he'll turn in and give you back your bicycle. He said, that's a good idea. Come Sunday, got up and he started preaching. Oh, he couldn't stand it. It was going on so bad. And all of a sudden he turned around and he got to the part where it says, thou shalt not commit adultery. He said, damn, I remember where I left my bicycle.
See, hold on. Goodness. All right. And you're next.
Hi, Wynn.
Hello there.
The preacher took this 7-year-old boy down to the river to baptize him. And he lowered him into the river once, and he said, do you believe? And he picked him up, and the boy said, yes, I believe. He lowered him in a second time, and he said, do you believe? And the boy said, yes, I believe. Then he did it a third time, and he said, do you believe, son? And the kid said, yes. He said, what do you believe? He said, I believe you're trying to drown me.
Hold on. All right. Okay. You're next.
Hi, I have a joke about a preacher.
All right.
Very busy preacher, and he was trying to find some way where he could do all the work that he had to do day in and day out. So he had a clone made for himself. So after he found the clone was made, he saw this thing, and it was perfect. It looked just like him. And excuse me. And he talked just like the preacher. He just had all the mannerisms of the preacher. So things were going great. He sent him to all the session meetings and all the budget meetings while this preacher could go out visiting and, just speaking to people and doing what he felt he was most capable in doing. So things went along just fine for a while until he got these reports about his clone that he just would break out in these terrible obscenities right in the middle of a meeting. So he went to the clone. They both went on a retreat out in the mountains. So he was walking along the mountainside and was trying to explain to this clone, you just can't do that. You can't use these obscenities in front of these people. You're a minister, and you just can't say these things. So he thought the clone had gotten the point. So after a little while, they were walking along the side of the mountain. He broke out in these terrible obscenities again. And then the preacher just didn't know what else to do. So he pushed this clone right off the side of the mountain and just tore it all to pieces. So the police got there, and they didn't know what to charge this preacher with, because it really wasn't a human being. So they decided that they would just charge him for making an obscene clone fall.
I understand. All right. Hold on. Oh, goodness. Let's see. You have a joke for me?
I'm keeping an eye on you. You almost told my joke.
Oh, I see.
Okay, the preacher was up in front of the congregation. He wanted to do a demonstration on the evils of demon rum. So he brought up a glass of water, and he took out an earthworm, and he dropped it in the water. The worm's wiggling around in the water. Brings up a bottle of whiskey, pours out the whiskey into a glass, drops the worm into the whiskey. Worm stiffens up, deader than a doornail. So he says to the congregation, does anyone have any idea why this occurs, or what this indicates to you? Some man stuck his hand up in the back, and he says, sure, preacher, if you drink whiskey, you'll never get worms.
I understand. Hold on. All right. I have to make a decision on who's going to be the best. And it's not a case of the best, because it's a case where I just have to choose one that I happen to like, which is not necessarily the best. We'll get to it.
D-U-N-S-T-A-N, D-U-N-S-T-A-N. Your pipes bring a leak. Dial D-U-N-S-T-A-N. Your heater doesn't heat. Dial D-U-N-S-T-A-N. So your sink is on the blink. Or your sewer drains a pain. You're never all alone if you just pick up your phone. Dial D-U-N-S-T-A-N. Dunstan McCluskey, the one plumber to call. N-S-T-A-N.
Dunstan McCluskey is the one plumber to call for those little things. When it comes to plumbing, sometimes the small problems can be the most annoying, like that toilet that keeps running or a noisy, dripping spigot. Don't put it off till it turns into a big problem. Dunstan McCluskey will fix it in a jiffy. Pick up your phone and dial Dunstan, D-U-N-S-T-A-N.
Dial D-U-N-S-T-A-N. Dunstan McCluskey, the one plumber to call. N-S-T-A-N.
7 minutes before the hour of 9 on WWDB, the talk station in Philadelphia. Who shall I give the prize to today? I think I shall give it to number 3 right there.
Is that number 3 over here?
Yes. You're the number 3 that got the prize.
That's wonderful.
Okay, you hold on.
All right.
Hold on, and our producer will take his name and address, and he will get our sensational prize of a 12-cent pen or a 13-cent cigarette lighter, depending on if the producer likes his tone of voice or not. See, you get the more important prize if they like you better. The producers run their own programs back there. They have their own thing going. It's 6 minutes before the hour of 9 on WWDB, the talk station in Philadelphia. And I want to talk to you about Midi Shade Clothes. Midi Shade's amazing men's clothing factory stockroom. My 20-year-old just stopped in wearing his new Midi Shade suit that he got yesterday. And $89. That was a good $89 suit, wasn't it, Alan? Looked good.
2 pair of pants?
No, one pair, but I had a vest. It's a 3-piece suit with a vest.
You know what they say about the vest? About the vest?
What do they say about the vest?
The vest gets all the gravy.
Oh.
Is that what they say?
I don't know.
No.
It was $89. That suit would ordinarily sell for about $175 elsewhere. But at Midi Shade, just $89. You always save 30, 40, 50, 60% at Midi Shade on top quality men's clothing. My son, of course, being the person he is, also bought a shirt to go with it. It was $10. And a tie for $3.90.
But would you believe under that attractive suit he's got torn underwear?
I would believe it. You see, my son, I know those things. But then, how do you know?
Because it's an old Joey Bishop joke that I thought would fit in here.
I see. Open daily 9 to 9, Saturdays till 6, Sundays 10 to 5. Major credit cards are honored. There's free parking right across the street at 16th and Calla Hill, a block north of the Vine Street Expressway. Midi Shade Clothes. 5 minutes before.
Hey, Wynn!
Hey!
This is Ken from the other station.
Good.
I got a joke for you, Wynn.
So.
It's on preachers. That was your subject this morning,
That was my subject,
Okay,
yes.
It seems this preacher's delivering a scathing sermon against a sinner in his parish. He says this man is evil, he's an atheist, and worst of all, he's a homosexual. And he says, what's more, this man has a sister who is a thespian. What do you think of that, Wynn?
I didn't think that was very
Not
good.
much. Oh, well, in spite of that, have a sun good day, Shine.
There you go. His jokes get worse than mine. That's really pushing. I mean, when a man's jokes are worse than mine are. Listen, we want to remind you that I need postcards and letters, folks. The shortage of pistachios and the skyrocketing price because of the problems in Iran. A lot of people don't know that pistachios come from Iran, but they do. And they have been forcing the price up by holding back the pistachios, claiming it was...
I can hardly wait.
Yes.
Our contact numbers. In Philadelphia, 263-7100, WWDB. And in the western suburbs, 328-2900, WWDB. And in New Jersey, 964-9400, WWDB.
All right, this is joke time, and I'm going to tell a joke on the subject of preachers. I would rather if you told a joke, well, you have to tell on the same subject, but I would rather you did not identify a church or a religious denomination. Just say the clergyman or the preacher or the reverend, whatever you want to call him, but not don't nail it down to one religion, please. Okay, we don't want to offend too many people all at once. On this particular Sunday, a preacher was really doing it with his sermon. I mean, he was preaching fire and brimstone and the whole, he really going. And his main topic was demon rum, liquor. And he just shouted it out. Demon rum is ruining your health, breaking up your family, eating away at your life savings. And while liquor does this to you, who is it who lives in the lap of luxury? The saloon keeper. Who owns the biggest mansions? The saloon keeper. Who has the most expensive automobiles? The saloon keeper. Whose wife wears the most priceless jewelry? The saloon keeper. They're all prospering from your misery as you allow demon rum to take you down the path to perdition. Well, a few days later, an elderly couple happened to meet the preacher on the street, and they thanked him profusely for putting them on the right track, for setting their feet on a proper path. And the preacher said, I'm certainly gratified that I've persuaded you both to stop drinking. And they said, no, it wasn't exactly that, preacher. We just bought a saloon.
When a product as remarkable as Arco Graphite Motor Oil comes on the market...
One near Montgomery Drive, but nothing really out of the ordinary. And very slow driving continues for drivers on Highway 95 southbound for those of you driving down toward Callow Hill. Walt McDonald for the Arco Go Patrol. Now back to Wynn Moore on WWDB, the talk station.
18 past 8 and partly sunny, breezy and cool today with a high around 50. Clear and cold tonight with a low of 25 to 30. Sunny, continued cool Tuesday, highs of 45 to 50. 40 degrees right now. And have you taken a look at the price tags on new clothes? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, the Betsy Ross Sewing Center has the answer. Sew your new spring fashions instead of buying them. And if you think that's too much trouble, well, you'll find out it's not so with one of their new European-made Pfaff sewing machines. You simply have to see the machines to believe what they can do. They have automatic buttonholes, overlock, stretch stitch, blind hems. Sewing is easier than ever. You know you'll save a bundle this year by doing it yourself, and you'll always save a bundle at the Betsy Ross Sewing Center. You just tell them who your favorite WWDB host is. They'll take an additional 10% off their already low prices. And they'll even take your old machine in trade. So stop in today at the Betsy Ross Sewing Center, 45 North 8th Street in Center City, Philadelphia. Or call them 923-1440, 923-1440. When you think of sewing, Think of Betsy Ross. 19 past 8 on WWDB, the talk station in Philadelphia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to open up our direct connection to Washington. And Jimmy. Good morning, Jimmy.
Hi, Wynn. Jimmy calling from Washington.
Mm-hmm.
When I might say we will be signing the Middle East Peace Treaty here today. And to celebrate tonight, we will have a special White House dinner for Mr. Sadat, Mr. Begin, and for me. And when at the dinner, the entree will be hominy grits and shish kebab on toasted bagels.
How do you like that?
I believe
that
that's in good taste. We'll all enjoy that, yes. When I might say that Uganda's Idi Amin is under very heavy pressure by his army to resign because of invasions by Tanzanian and Ugandan rebels. When I might say I've never seen a man lose popularity as quickly as Idi Amin, and I might say Idi Amin is even less popular than that other dictator, Idi Gourmet, the dictator from the Bronx, as you well know. When I might say that WCAU TV News anchorman Larry King has miraculously escaped injury while covering the Middle East yesterday in Jerusalem. The restaurant Larry King was eating in was bombed by PLO terrorists. Seems the PLO terrorists found out that Larry King is not his real name.
I see.
When I might say the government of Iran has agreed to give the Kurdish people a voice in government decisions. When questioned, does this mean that Iran is giving the Kurds their way?
Kurds their way, yes.
Bye now, Wynn. Have a good day, yeah?
That's the whole thing, is it? Kurds their way, and off you go. And leave me stuck with the rest of this, right?
Hi, this is Dr. James Corey, inviting you to join me in my new time slot. It's Monday, 8 to 11, with the magnificent Irving Homer. We'll talk about diet, exercise, rehabilitation, and all the vitamin questions you can think of. We'll put you on the right road to recovery if that body's in horrible shape. Don't forget, it's every Monday from 8 to 11. Have you been waiting to get in shape? Well, there's no time like the present. Do it with me, Dr. James Corey. Monday evenings, 8 to 11, here at WWDB, the talk station.
All right, 21 and a half past the hour of 8 on WWDB, the talk station in Philadelphia. You're live at 96.5.
Yeah, Wynn, you asked a question a few minutes ago about any no-hitters pitched in the major leagues
last year, yes.
If I recall, I think there was a St. Louis Cardinal pitcher named Forsch.
Bob Forsch.
Yeah, he pitched one against, unfortunately, the Phillies.
Oh, all right. See how I miss him?
I'm pretty sure about that.
Okay, if you say so, I'll believe it. Because I say, one of my, I always enjoyed sports, but you'll never get me with knowing the records of pitchers or what. I just win, lose, that's all I know about.
Okay.
Hey, thank you for calling. I don't know. I've never been one to. When I was a kid, I never collected base. Yes, I did. It wasn't a matter of collecting baseball cards. I used to like to flip them. It wasn't a matter of hiding them and collecting them and memorizing. We had kids in school who could memorize the baseball cards. I mean, literally memorize baseball cards. They flunked history, but they knew every baseball player and his batting average.
See, and those were the teachers in school.
Right. Me, I flunked history. And didn't know the baseball players and their batting averages either. So, I guess 6 of one, half of
Reminds me of your athletic prowess. Your reputation preceded you. I understand you weren't a very good hitter, but you also couldn't field much.
That's right. Where does it say here that Alan Jay makes fun of Star? Where does it say that? I didn't see that. I'm looking on both sides of this script.
Yeah,
Alan,
read the small print in your contract. I'm taking advantage. I'm taking advantage of this newly found freedom in that you gave me an opening because you say you've been asked to mention my name more often.
That's right. Yes.
And
but I can forget that, Alan. I mean,
you also could change my name.
That's true. Wouldn't it be unusual if every time you walked in I called you some different name? That would do it.
Yes, but of course there's an obscenity. The 730 names, you know what happened to George Carlin.
730 words, yes. Oh, goodness. Well, certainly wasted enough time there. Let me say that very shortly, in about a minute, we're going to be hearing from Boinie, who will listen to your problems for you, and at least he'll listen to them. I don't say what else he'll do, But if you have a problem, you better start calling in now at our contact numbers 263-7100 in Philadelphia. In New Jersey, 964-9400. In the western suburbs, 328-2900 to talk to Boinie for whatever reason you may have. We'll get to that in 1 minute. After we talk to you about a delightful place to dine, let me tell you about Rohrer's Par 1. They're at the General Washington in Audubon, Pennsylvania. That's formerly a private club, and they have a very distinctive decor. High-beam ceilings, fireplace in every room, accented with a wide variety of hanging plants, candlelight and flowers on each table. Very comfortable place to dine. The food, par excellence, featuring such delicious dishes as veal Oscar, Mandarin chicken David, seafood dishes like scampi provencal and seafood thermidor. New steak lovers will find their New York strip a generous cut and the filet mignon prepared to perfection. So for a terrific dining experience, try Rohrer's Par 1, 2750 Egypt Road, Audubon, Pennsylvania. From Philadelphia, you take the expressway to Route 202 South, follow Route 363, make a left at the second traffic light, follow the signs to the General Washington. Rohrer's Par 1, open daily 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., closed Mondays. Call 666-7600 for reservations. That's 666-7600.